Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm super excited to show off this game called UnDecember. It just got announced what felt like was out of nowhere, and some of you guys were messaging me talking about this game. I'm like, I haven't even seen this game. It just got announced a couple days ago and this game looks amazing. I really feel like this game could be the next big action RPG coming out into the scene. And so what it is, it's a hack and slash action RPG, but it's got insane depth. If you guys like games like Diablo, Path of Exile, or if you guys really like Lost Ark, which is actually going to be coming out very, very soon as well, this might be a game that you want to keep on your radar like I will be. So what makes this game unique? Because obviously the game, it looks good graphic-wise, it looks awesome as far as like aesthetics. It's what I personally really like. I like it kind of dark and gritty. But on top of that, the depth in this game actually looks really, really good. But let's go and show off there's like a basic trailer over here, and then what we're going to do is also go over what makes the game unique. So you can see there's an auction house over here. That's really good. If any of you guys played Path of Exile, you know, sometimes the auction house, would be very nice to have in a game like that where you don't have to whisper out like thousands of people because they just simply don't respond, or they're AFK, or they're busy doing something, right? But there's lots of different ways to actually play this game. So we saw the auction house. It looks like there's a wave mode. They're going to be showing off PvP as well, which I'm super excited about, because I feel like action RPGs just don't really support PvP that much, right? Like Path of Exile does have the Battle Royale mode, but for the most part, it's not like a heavy emphasized mode that I would say is like core in the game. And I'm hoping that this game can offer that with guild battlegrounds and other forms of PvP. I think this will be really cool to see in the future, because what keeps people interested in the game when there's no new actual content is PvP. Look, you have raids, and on top of that, you have different, obviously you have PvE, that's like, you know, a given, but the skill system, what they are calling runes, is actually really unique. We'll jump into that in a moment over here, and it's going to really be a big brain game over here. So we're going to check out some videos via the official website over on their YouTube channel, but they're going to show off how the rune system actually kind of works over here, and I'll explain it a little bit more later as they'll have a dedicated video for it. So how it works is you have a skill rune, and then you are going to be able to link it. This is where it becomes kind of like Path of Exile, where you're able to link these runes, and it's going to be really, really cool. So the actual skill has a set amount of colors. Like in this one, there was 4 green, 1 blue, and 1 red, and depending on those is what you're going to be able to modify the skill with. Now, you don't only have access to only 6 adjacent hexagons for the skill. You can actually link it even further, and this is why I'm like, oh my gosh, like PoE, big brain, gameplay over here. And a lot of the gems, you'll notice that there's like these little hashtags that have these texts on what kind of text corresponds to it with different modifiers, which is really helpful for not only content creators, but people that are actually interested in playing the game. But they go over a few different things. This is really cool. So this is a trigger where this will activate the other skill when you actually hit the target. Is this actually, this is 1440p? Okay, really? Okay, I just felt like the video quality over here. Sometimes it could be just YouTube in general. Sometimes if the server gets overloaded. But nonetheless, the game looks really good. Just keep in mind, like, I'm re-uploading it basically because I'm capturing it from YouTube. But like, I like how they say it's unlimited. All right, so that's cool. But they also show off this thing that kind of explains it a little bit more. So the runecast is a unique system in UnDecember. So you have your basic skill. You see how there's a blue, a green, and a red link, just like you would in Path of Exile. Now, anything that is adjacent to the skill, you can share the not only the support gem, but you can link it with the other skill to be like cast on hit, or whatever the case may be, which they kind of explained in like another video. I like this idea. This is so cool. And you can actually level up the other supports. They show it off in like one of the things. I might have to pause it at one point to see it, but they give you a brief explanation. So here's Fireball. They just shoot the Fireball. Nothing too big over here. And then now with like a greater multiple projectiles, there's more projectiles that come out, and they basically show off how it kind of works. And you can actually link them to multiple. And that is where, again, it becomes very cool. And you can even see some of these legendary drops, which is what I want to hop into for the gear. Now, this is where it's kind of like Path of Exile / Diablo. Like, you can kind of crafter gear, but like I like the giant beam of light like you would have in Diablo, so you're killing stuff, and then what looks like it's supposed to be some sort of like legendary two-handed sword, and you have to identify it like you would in Diablo. Okay, so let me move my face out of the way, otherwise you guys can't see this. So here's the armor. It looks like it's a normal, it's a body armor, it has some sort of requirement, it's just got evasion. These are our currency. So we have these magic essences, I guess is what it's called, and then there's a birth magic essence that re-rolls it. So you convert the white to a blue, and it's got like freeze evasion, cold resist, and then you could re-roll the stats on it. Now we have bind evasion and gear stat requirement as a negative. So that could be kind of cool too, and I'm guessing you can modify rare items. Maybe this is for legendaries or uniques, not sure what the official term is going to be called. And to actually get your gear, to have these currencies to modify, it looks like you just smelt other things, like you're just going to be converting it to resource, which is kind of cool too. That means basically everything in the game would have some sort of currency, and you don't even have to actually have the currency drop, which is going to be an interesting mechanic, or if it's on auto pickup, I have no idea. Now, this game is PC, but I'll talk a little bit more about, they're talking about playing it anywhere, so there is going to be a mobile version of the game. Now, when I hear that, usually as a PC gamer myself, that I generally don't play mobile games like at all. For the most part, I'm obviously going to be checking out Diablo Immortal, but for the most part, I don't really play mobile games. I always have in the back of my head, like, are they going to be, you know, toning down the game? It doesn't look like it with this game. Now, you have these other things called Zodiacs, which looks like you have like your basic like stat points, like you have strength, int, and dexterity, I believe, and then you can actually go further. I believe another game did this constellation thing. Was it like Grim Dawn? But I like it. The more depth that we have in a game, the more things that I like as a content creator, because then we can do like crazy different builds. They actually encourage, there's a really long video. I'm not going to play all of it. They're actually going to be showing off another skill over here. But there's another video that kind of goes over like them saying that we want people to be encouraged to try multiple things, which I personally really like in a game. Like one thing I do like with Diablo 3 is you're going to be able to swap your build out at any time. If you want to do it with PoE, yeah, you're going to have to buy those Orbs of Regret, and you could completely mess up your build, and then you have to get way more Orb of Regrets and maybe go back, or whatever the case may be. I'm hoping with this game they have some sort of system where you can like swap between builds relatively quick, and or just make it kind of free. I'm kind of curious to know your guys' thoughts on this as well. Now, another important thing really quick is this game is also going to be free to play, and if you guys are worried about like microtransactions, we'll get into that in a moment, but they're just showing off another skill. You can see again the corresponding colors. There's 4 blue, 2 red. I'm wondering if the skills that we get, those can roll, because what I saw before was some certain skills would only have 3 links, and there would be other ones that had more links. So I'm guessing maybe there's rarities to the actual skill gem, but this is them showing off spell activation, attack, hit. So when you actually hit with one skill, it's going to activate the other skill. But how far can you go on this chain, right? You can see that there's this rune tree. It only has so many sockets for your stuff. There almost looks like there's a button to swap pages too. I don't know if you guys see that. Like it's, you know, it's kind of hard to, it might be kind of hard to see over there, but yeah, it's unlimited. I like how they have that as their like little slogan. There's a couple extra skills here, but I'm not going to go over all of the skills here because I don't want to make this video way too long. But one thing that I did want to cover is there is a video where they like showed it off. I mean, this game was just unveiled a couple days ago. Technically, they did have beta in October, I believe, but I didn't know anything about this game literally a day ago, and now I've just gathered a bunch of info, been watching a lot of stuff on this game. So they mentioned in terms of like microtransactions, because as a free game, that's what I'm always wondering. They have a Steam page already up for it. It's set to release for Q1 of 2022, but there's also, I've been looking at some translations. It had a scheduled date of January on 2022. January 13th was what I saw. But then there's also Q1 of 2022. And I'll explain this because some people are like Q1 of 2022. That's January. That's not actually how it works. How it works is that in 2021, Q4 could be January as well. Of 2021, that would be that you could put at Q4 and it could still come out on 2022 of January, if that makes sense. But Q1 of 2022 would be a little bit later down the line. So maybe, I mean, different places will have different, like, I guess, views on like when it's going to be releasing, but that's when it's planned to release. As far as Needs Games and Line Games, like the developer and publisher, they don't have anything under their belt, at least not listed right now under Steam. So it's going to be interesting to see where this goes. And again, it's listed right now as a free-to-play game, so that is something to kind of take note of. So they said in terms of the microtransactions, it's going to be convenience, looks will be our business model. You know, that's what they're stating. You know, a lot of games may state that in the very beginning, but hopefully they can keep true to that, because I think that's something that I definitely value. Now, they are also showing off that they plan to add some controller support for it. Oh, by the way, all the music that you guys are listening to is actually from Path of Exile. It's just, I don't know if they were using some copyrighted music, and I don't want to get YouTube striked, so I just did that. And they're also like mentioning that they're going to be balancing the game, which is like kind of normal. But they mentioned that they want the game to be played anytime and anywhere, because I always look at a game like, oh yeah, it's on mobile as well. I always feel like they may water down the game in terms of the experience, but if they're making it complex enough, and check out these graphics on mobile, okay? Could you honestly tell that the game is running on mobile? Like, if I just saw the thing on the right, I would not have believed that that was a mobile game. So in terms of it being mobile and like lowering the graphics because they want it to work on mobile, I don't see that that's the case here. But, you know, some games will have like, you know, your daily logins and normal things like you would get. Now, there's a lot more videos, but I just wanted to kind of like cover the game as like a brief rundown of it. I'm just going to go ahead and play this while I kind of wrap up my thoughts. I'm curious to know what you guys think of it. Obviously, the game is taking a lot of inspiration from, again, Lost Ark, Diablo, Path of Exile. Lost Ark more so for some of these skills and the way that they, like, look. It's definitely pretty dang cool, and also, like, visually, some of the skills just look really awesome. I'm super excited to play this game. So I feel like if you're interested in Lost Ark, Diablo, Path of Exile, this is definitely a game that you should keep on your radar, as it's going to be a game that I definitely will be covering on this channel, regardless if we have to VPN and go ahead and play it. So if you guys are new to the channel here, and this is your first time, and you want to keep up with this game, I am definitely interested in covering this game, as well as Lineage W when we actually get access to it, hopefully in the States. But anyways, if you guys do want to see more of UnDecember, feel free to go ahead and subscribe, turn on that bell, and you'll definitely be notified as soon as I get some more news on this game. I'm super hyped about it. But take care, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. And I'm out. Peace.